Good, y'all? My name is Rorvis Paradox, aka Docs Brando. Like to walk you all to another installment of Rorvis Reviews. I call this one the prelude to spooky season because I'm reviewing two horror movies that have dropped this year, and we're in September, so you know October is literally around the corner. So I thought it'd be nothing better to do but to review two films that I did enjoy this year, one more than the other, but we will get to that. Make sure you follow me on IG at DocsBrando25 to stay up to date for, any drops or what I'm interested what I've recently watched. Make sure you're tapped into my letterbox at DocsBrando25 as well. And with all that being said, let's get into it. Now, the first film I want to talk about is 2024's Abigail, directed by Matt Benatel-Opland and Tyler Gillette. And with producer Chad Vela, the trio combined formed Radio Silence Production, a group that has made a lot of horror movies as of late. Some of you have may have seen Ready or Not, or my two personal favorite, Scream 5 and Scream 6, two movies I've loved from this decade. These gentlemen are really putting their foot in the horror movie genre, and it's been nothing but good to greatness for most parts. A lot of people enjoy their works and highly rated from not just critics but audiences alike. And with this, we get a film that they were thinking about doing a remake of Dracula's Daughter from 1938, but instead of doing that, they decided to go into a different direction with some of the source material because they want to, take some risks, do some different things, let actors try different things out. And I think what they created was something enjoyable. I don't think this was one of the best films of the year. Of course not. This year has been very heavy. Like, this has been a great year for films, in my opinion. But it's still better than it's a middle of a pack type of film, but it's still enjoyable. Now, the premise of this film is about how a group of criminals kidnap a teenage ballerina who is the daughter of a notorious gang leader, and they're trying to get a ransom for her. But unbeknownst to them, she is not just a little girl. This little person that they have kidnapped, turns out to be a monster. And if you've seen the trailers, and if you've seen some of the posters for this film, you would know that she is a vampire. Now, this is my one of my few issues I have with this film. I believe if they would have kept this reveal tight, like if they would just waited to let people find out what's going on, if they just wanted to have people start in the trailer, if they just want to see people, like some of the kills happen or get dragged off, stuff like that, that would have been okay, perfectly fine with that. I get it. But to already in the trailer show, like, reveal your hand that she's a vampire, is just, it takes away from the film because you're just waiting for that other shoe to drop, because we all know that she's a vampire. The only people that don't know is this small group that's together holding her hostage, quote unquote. So I think this was such a takeaway from the film. Like, that really broke my heart. But overall, I still enjoyed this film. So I don't want to talk anymore about the film in that aspect because I want y'all to check this film out for yourselves, where we can build some dialogue, build some conversation, and things of that nature, and also for you to form your own opinion. I always tell y'all that I'm me, y'all you, we're together, but that don't mean that we all have to share the same opinions, and that's great. Now, I want to get into the highlights. Now, the first highlight that I want to talk about is I just enjoy the practical effects. I'm a huge nerd for that. I love seeing things and how they get created, and I love when it looks good, and there's some kills in here that are reveal kills or like after the deaths of use of bodies that I liked. It was a very interesting take on certain moments in this film, as well as the special effects. Some of the digital was great as well. And if you know Radio Silence in their works, they love a great blood splatter. Like they get excited anytime they can make a whole lot of blood pop up on screen. And I'm not digital. I'm talking about real. They use like blood cannons at this point. They really try to just like get their actors completely doused in as much blood as possible. And I don't know how these actors and actresses do it, but it is shown in their work that it is so much so necessary to the film. Um, I want to talk about the score from Brian Tyler was so superb. Like Brian Tyler, I've just now noticing that this man stayed with a job. He has been a composer for so many different films through our time. We're talking about many different installments in the Fast and Furious franchise. We're talking about multiple films with radio silence. So off top of my head, the first Scream 5 and Scream 6, and this the the list goes on. Like if y'all look at his list, you'll be surprised about how many different things he has scored and composed. And for this film in particular, I think he did an excellent job of creating an eerie vibe, definitely going towards the gothic vibes that go with being a vampire film. I think he hit the nail on the head. Speaking of the score, the use of the song Swan Theme performed by Berlin Philharmoniker, which was the theme, also the intro theme for the daughter of Dracula's daughter. Excellent. And this song comes up many times in the film, but it's just a soundbite to let you know it's basically the theme song for Abigail before things start getting cracking. And it's so it's just a beautiful piece of music, honestly. Like, I don't know how they were able to create such a thing from back in the day. I guess they just had the sauce. It was just different. But this right here is just, I don't know. I really gravitated towards it. I really enjoyed this song. And they used it for the theme, for the intro. And you're just getting to see Abigail kind of do her routine as a ballerina throughout, as we're seeing like the introduction for some of our characters. And again, it was just well shot intro. I really enjoyed that, and it let me know what am I getting into with this film. Now I do want to talk about the cast because it's not many. It's a small crew. It's a very small crew of actors and actresses that we have for this film, and I think they did a pretty good job together. Like I did enjoy some of the chemistry, some of the moments that were shared with the cast, just working together. Everything was really cool. I want to give my first nod to Alicia Ware as who played Abigail. This young talent right here, I have to give my nod to her because not only did she learn ballet for the role, for she incorporated to her character's movements, she also performed her own stunts. I think that's really cool for a young actress to be able to perform their own stunts and don't have to have any cuts to hide the fact that it's a stunt double, stunt double or anything like that. I think for such a young actress, she did an excellent job in this role. She definitely has some moments where she can, because she's the vampire in the film, there was moments where she can make herself sound centuries years old, like definitely feel way older than what she actually looks like. And I think there's moments where she's like, she really, the switch is coming with the reveal that she's a vampire, but like she did such an excellent job playing innocent, playing very coy, playing like she didn't know what was going on, and I just enjoyed that from this film. Melissa Barrera as Joey, excellent job. This was her third film with radio silence, and I'm disappointed that she had to be dropped from Scream due to her views, her political views, and she said nothing wrong. But the fact that she's just radio silence just knew how to utilize her as an actress, and I think the sadness of this relationship being destroyed because of someone's beliefs is devastating because again, she did an excellent role as our main character for the film, and again, just excellent. And to further upon that, it goes in with her interactions with Dan Stevens as Frank in the film. Their back and forth, their banter, their like power struggle within the film is just, again, the cast makes this film what it is. Catherine Newton as Sammy, Will Callett as Rickles, Kevin Durant as Peter. Kevin Durant, he's low key one of my, not a favorite actor, but I really enjoy his work. He was just in Kingdom of Planet of the Apes. He plays Proximus Caesar, and he's also plays a character in the Strain series. If you've seen that vampire series that was on FX, check that out on Hulu. Highly recommend. He does an excellent job of playing this kind of like goofy giant type of character. And again, I just enjoy seeing him on film, and he has some good phony moments and chemistry with the rest of the rest of the cast. Now, Angus Cloud as Dean, rest in peace. I was enjoying his performances in Euphoria, and for such a young talent to be gone, truly devastating. But he definitely stamped his touch on this film. This film, he's definitely the funny character, the person that you're gonna be sad that he gets off, but he definitely is. His character's a little bit of a piece of shit, but again, he has some funny moments and funny quips within the film, and he knocked it out of the park for his portion of the film. They were able to. His portion was already done before his passing, so it was really just doing the rest, and they honor him with this film. Towards the end of the film, before the credits roll, they do show his signature and all that. It was really cool. It was heartwarming, so I do appreciate that portion that they did for him. And again, crazy guy within the film, but just a little bit level, just a tiny bit, Now, Giancarlo Esposito as Lambert. This is a minor role for him, and he's already such a great actor that he doesn't really need much screen time to get the job done. And this role is literally just, it feels like Radio Silence just tailor-made this just to get him on board for a quick buck, and well worth it. Worth every penny. Now, Matthew Good as Abigail's father. Not really on screen for a very long time, but what we get was exactly what we needed for this film. The presence that's been like around the film about how they talk about his character is shown in the film. It's definitely felt, and as soon as you get to see him and how ginormous it is in stature, like, not only does just the notoriousness of what he's done throughout the film is shown as soon as he appears. It's just like everything just matches. And seeing his style of vampire, which I can follow up on with another highlight that I love, was this interpretation of vampires. It's not too often that you see vampires and they have nothing but shark teeth like sharks. Usually it's the fangs, and everybody loves the fangs. They're iconic. But this portion where it's like they literally just like tearing into flesh, like real monstrous looking creatures, I love that. And I think the way that this effect is done, the makeup design, all that, excellent. I applaud them for creating this style of vampire style, just the usual fangs. I love seeing something different when it comes to monsters. Now, that's about it for the highlights. All in all, I'm giving this film 3.5 stars. If I watch it again, it may go up, it may go down, but I think 3.5 stars is where I'm going to stick with. I think 3.5 is good for a film of this nature. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but y'all tell me in the comments if y'all enjoyed this film. But 3.5 for me. Now, the next film that I want to talk about is one of my favorite movies of this year, a film that was on my list previously a few weeks ago. Number two, 2024's Alien Romulus, directed by Fede Alvarez. This film is so great. It's so great to me. And some people might say it's overrated, and some people who I don't necessarily agree with, but I understand the sentiment. Some will say this is their favorite movie in the franchise. And I understand, like I said, I understand why. This film feels like not only kind of going back to the formula of what the franchise was, but I feel like it does a great job of combining certain aspects from previous films in the franchise to move the needle forward of what's next, what is possible for the Alien franchise. And I just love it. I love this movie so much. So much. If it wasn't for Dune, this would probably be my favorite movie of the year. But that may change. We're gonna find out in December at my end of the year list. Tap in for that. But in the timeline of the Alien franchise, this movie is right after Aliens. So this is like a few decades after, and then in between Aliens, where Ripley wakes up, or is found and wakes up. So what I loved about this film off rip is how much love Fade gave it, as well as what he chose to honor previous films within this film, like certain moments, certain callbacks. Everything about this film felt like it was not just a love letter to the franchise, but also someone who truly is a fan of it and wants to do right by it. And that is a hard blend. It's a hard thing to do, to combine both. It's not easy. And he did an excellent job of sticking to it, to the formula. Now, I do want to get into some of the highlights, or kind of just talk about the film. It's kind of going to be like a mix of between. But as somebody that loves lore, like when I'm really interested in something, I love learning about not only how stuff is made, but like within the film, within the content of like where something started, different niches and turns, and where it is now. And for this, for me personally, this film was the first time we got to see humanity. And what I mean by that is it's not just the main characters and the future victims that we're going to see get killed in the film. It's what, if you've seen Aliens and they talk about how they need Ripley's help because when she told them they wrong as hell for setting up on that planet, where because of that planet the first face hugger attaches to her friend, her co-worker, and all the shit goes down Alien, and they find out the whole colony that's on that planet got wiped out and they don't know what's going on. We didn't get to really see the colony. We got to see the mass amount of xenomorphs that were created afterwards, but we never got to see what society looks like in this future. And what I loved about this film is we find out it's absolutely fucking horrible. It's terrible for these people. These people are damn near indentured servants. They're adding on time to make sure you still working for them. Get your ass back to the mine. We're not done with your ass. Like, this is some fucked up shit. And it's crazy that we've been so in tune with dealing with either people that are like more top of the working class within this franchise, or like people that like secluded themselves from society. We never got to see the everyday person within this universe, and I'm glad that we did, because it makes me think about what the fuck more can the Wayman Company do to these people. Like, oh my god, y'all own everything, absolutely everything, and you working these people to death, literally. That's how Most of the main characters' family have died. They have died while working for this terrible ass company. But that's neither here nor there. I just truly enjoyed the lore building in that aspect. Now, I talked about it in my mid-year list from a couple videos ago about how I truly believe that this film was great at encapsulating the tension and anxiety that the first two films in the franchise were able to create, and I stand by that. I think what this film does what does is it well what how it does it is with its utilization of the face hugger. Now, Aliens is probably like the most like real movement and tension building, like real fear scene that comes with dealing with a face hugger. But the film, this film right here, is so much more with it. We really get to live with the face hugger. We get to see how they move, how they not just move like on land, but like different settings within the film, how they interact with their environment, and that shit is fucking terrifying. And just the scene of how they awaken, basically, that's what I say without spoiling, was just nerve wracking because it's like, oh, they don't know. Oh, oh no. Like literally like got to the edge of my seat already. And this is like the first half of the movie is already cracking. So definitely enjoy that aspect because we don't get enough face huggers with their disgusting little asses. Now, the great use of practical effects and special effects, again, this was a great perfect blend. The previous installments, too much special, not enough real. Like, we need a real xenomorph, we need a motherfucker in the suit right there. We need a puppet, we need something that we can see our characters actually interacting with. That's what we love. That's what this is what this franchise has always been about. And to not have that is a detriment. But don't get me wrong, I still really love to like the Prometheus and Alien Covenant. Again, I love the lore, I love what's building in the universe. But those were my issues with it. And then you get films like Alien 3 where the special effects kind of ass. No, not kind of. It is ass. It's very much so ass. And the one good scene, the one most iconic shot from Alien 3, guess what they use? Practical effects. I rest my case. So again, excellent work from that. And that leads me to talk about the set design. Again, I love the environment that they have to utilize with the Romulus space station. But I think the best portion of this is when they get to the xenomorph's nest around like the third act, and it's like, yes, this is what we love. We love like how they just, I don't know how they make this shit. I don't know how they build their nest. It's just utter disgustness because I don't know where the sticky ass shit is coming from. I would really like to know, because it's just, where is it excreting from? Like, I don't know where my mind thinks about with xenomorphs is different from other people. But another thing that's a highlight of this film is how they are honoring H.R. Giger, the original artist and designer of the xenomorph, and basically like a lot of things that came from Alien. Now, I wish I could post some of his art right here on screen to show you it, but you're just gonna have to look it up for yourself because honestly, I'm afraid to get demonetized because love Giger's work, but he was a freak bull. Like, I don't know where his mind's not just in the gutter. That, ugh, like, and when you really look at the xenomorph and how it's designed and some of the aspects of the different parts in its life cycle, and you look at it and you're like, yeah, a freak man did this, but not a bad freak man, just like somebody just passionate, I guess. But that leads me to talking about how I feel they honored Giger, and that's with expanding upon the life cycle of the xenomorph. Now, this is like a minor spoiler, like a very minor spoiler. Like I don't think it does too much, but there's a portion where everyone knows it starts with the face hugger, and then we get to it after it attaches. We get the chest burster comes out. The chest burster runs off, and it sheds its skin, grows bigger. And at this portion, we usually have thought it goes straight to Xenomorph. We don't know how it actually grows exactly because Chestbuster is not big at all. And then we talking about it becoming a 7-foot Xenomorph. So I always wondered what was in between these stages. There got to be something in between these stages. And these sickos did Giger right by creating another stage within the life cycle. This is more of a cocoon-esque part of the life cycle where this is the stage before the Xenomorph appears. But now I want to know, does the creature look like from Chestbuster to the cocoon stage? Like now there's a portion missing, and I need Fade to give me what I want. I want to see it. So Fade, if you hear this, I want that middle stage. I want that stage right there, because there's no way that little chest burster just climbed up that wall. Well, the portion that shed the skin climbed up the wall and just stuck itself. There has to be another one. It has to be, because I feel like it's on some caterpillar type shit. I'm sorry, this feels like a little bit of a tangent, because it is, but I'm very passionate about it. I want to see that because I am truly intrigued on seeing it on camera. So give me what I want. Now, again, I said this in my review, my short review of it, that I love the score. I love the use of silence. I love the tension that this film was able to bring with the music. And again, this was just well executed by Fade and his group. Now I want to get into talking about the cast. I said I gave credit to the cast names, but I didn't really say in particular what I liked from them. So from Kaylee Spaney as Rain, I enjoyed her because you can tell she's highly based off of Ripley, but she's her own person. She's just a badass good girl, and we love those. We truly love those. We need more badass good girls. And you can tell where she's coming from in some portions, with her interactions with the character Andy. You feel where both of them are coming from, and I enjoy what they do on film. Like these two characters, Andy played by David Johnson, these two characters are the heart of the film. Like we love Xenomorphs are gonna bring home the money, but these two are what truly make the film and how they interact in their relationship. Now, Andy, we found out very early in the film, like within the first 5 minutes, that he is an android, and usually we find this out towards like halfway in the film, or like maybe like the tail end of the film. We find out who is an android. They love having the synthetic people in these films, but I loved how David portrayed Andy. Like he's an older model and he has these tics, and he really plays them as not just robotic, but like the way he portrays them is kind of like he has special needs. And I don't mean that in an offensive way. It's just that like he has certain quirks, and there's a lot of things like Rain really has to take care of him, but his purpose in his modem by her father, who found him and reprogrammed him, was to protect her and do everything he can for her. But like that's what goes in the relationship, where it's just like, again, I love how there's kind of like a brother-sister relationship there, and there's a lot to build with that, and absolutely enjoyed it. Now we have Archie Rennox as Tyler, who is a former lover of Rain, and then you have his sister Kay, played by Isabella Merced. You have Spike Fern as Bjorn, and then you have his girlfriend, whose name is Navarro, played by Eileen Wu. These four, you know, if there's a ranking for how much I care about these characters, it's probably like Kay, then Tyler, Navarro, and Bjorn, because Bjorn deserves everything he got, and honestly, he didn't get punished enough. I understand where he's coming from because they kind of add some backstory to him to why he acts a certain way towards Andy, but that's still not enough because Andy has done nothing wrong. But that backstory, we're gonna get to that. Well, we're not gonna get to that. That's pay attention to that in the film because again, this film does a great job of tying loose ends and or like utilizing certain points to come back to. This small group of young people that I've said before that I love the use because it's kind of on some Scooby-Doo type shit. Like we don't usually get within the franchise. There's never been young people dealing with this situation, and I love putting them in this space because they're really just trying to get out the mud. All their parents are dead, and it's literally just them, and they just want to be able to go to a different spot where it's better for them, and shit literally hits the fan. And what else can you do but try to figure out a way to survive? I think Fade was able to get a great group of young talented actors and actresses that understood their roles and got it done. The last thing I want to talk about, I want to go back to practical effects because the chest burster scene in this film is second best in the franchise. It goes the first one, and then this is right under, and no other chest burster scenes are better. And I'm gonna stand on it. I'm gonna stand by it. Stand 10 toes, whatever you want me to say. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I thoroughly enjoyed this film, and in my opinion, to me, this is the second best movie in the franchise. I know a lot of people love Aliens. To me, Aliens kind is not enough gore for me. There's so many xenomorphs, but it feels like not enough kills, great kills that I would like to see on film. So this is above it. All in all, I am giving this film 5 stars. Excellent, 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 excellent film from Fade, and I can't wait to see what he does next. 5 stars. Now, there's no particular reason I pair these films besides them both being horror movies that I did enjoy from this year. I love the Alien franchise, definitely something that I grew up with, and I'm huge fans. Well, I guess I would say I'm a huge fan of Radio Silence and their work. So bringing both of them together just makes sense to me. And I may be over the top with how I'm talking about both these films, but that's what I have to ask. Did you agree with what I said about these films? Is Alien Romulus one of the best films from this year? Is it one of the best films in its Alien franchise, or is it overrated? You tell me in the comments below. Also, have you seen Abigail? Is it as good as a lot of people are saying it is? Is it trash? Is it, just alright? I would love to hear your comments. Please tell me below before we have the conversation and build upon what we're talking about. Cause hey, you doxaholics, this is a community. This is a family. And I appreciate all y'all interaction. I appreciate y'all tapping in with y'all boy. Remember, we have a 500 subscriber goal. So share this video. Oops, sorry about that. Share this video with as many people as you can. Let people know about the content creator that y'all fuck with heavy. Also, make sure that you're liking, commenting. I need y'all to really lock in on these videos. As soon as we get to a certain amount of watch hours and things like that, your boy can start getting paid. So help me, help you, help me, help us grow. Cool. Now this has been Rorvis Paradox, aka Dox Brando, with Rorvis Reviews. And I'll see y'all again next week. Peace.